Aditya Shah, founder of Hercules Advisors, joining in this morning for more on this story. Aditya, I think what's befuddling is the fact that this happened through forged checks. Someone came and pretended to be beneficiaries of the Haryana government accounts, possibly collusion with employees internally. V. Vaidyanathan says it wasn't senior people. And just 590 crores, 490 plus maybe 100 crores is just gone. And nobody knows about it.
So good morning. Before we start, we need to make this very clear. All scheduled commercial banks in India are regulated by the RBI and including IDFC First Bank, your deposits there are completely safe. So the summary of the con call that we Vaidyanathan just held was galti se mistake ho gaya. It is very clear that fraud checks were used and to some extent the employees of IDFC First Bank as well as the Haryana government, all of them were involved in the fraud and the shareholders end up losing. From the call I gather, the liability can be as high as 590 crores. So completely unacceptable what has happened at IDFC First Bank. Systems and processes need to get redefined. However, IDFC First Bank is a strong bank. Their quarterly profit is at about 500 crores. So they will be able to absorb this. But the bank says that this is restricted to one branch, but the forensic audit will go on and the entire bank will get audited, and then we will know if there are any other cockroaches in the cupboard. So from my perspective, completely unacceptable what has happened. The bank must introspect, bank must redefine its system and processes to move forward. But the stock will have a sharp impact. 500 crores of losses will be booked in this quarter or the next quarter, and this loss accrues to the shareholders. So B. Vaidyanathan has a lot to answer as to what really happened.
Aditya, good morning. Sharad here. You mentioned about the losses getting booked in this quarter. If that happens, you see these deposits going to other banks also. That's actually a very serious commentary coming in. Your view on that?
The bank has clarified that PSU entities, the central government and the state government have about 10% of deposits. We've already seen the Haryana government say that they will blacklist IDFC First Bank. So from my perspective, I don't expect a meaningful growth in deposits for IDFC First Bank. In fact, there will be a negative sentiment for IDFC First Bank, and rightly so. They cannot say that just some employees colluded and the problem is really over. People will have their apprehensions about parking money here in the shorter term. So shorter term deposit growth will be hit. Consequently, the loan growth could also slow down, and meaningfully we will see an impact on the stock today and during this week as well. So shorter term things don't look good for the IDFC First Bank stock. Shorter term, Vaidyanathan will have to combat. And one of the more important point on the call was Vaidyanathan did say that if we are responsible for the fraud, we will take up the entire liability on our book, which somewhere says that 590 crores of loss is coming to the balance sheet of IDFC First Bank. So not really great. It doesn't also give me confidence that he is saying that this is a one-off incident and it will won't happen again. Assurances don't work in a real market. They will have to change their systems and processes so that these frauds don't happen again.
Aditya, a very candid take on this one. And even if Vaidyanathan is talking about taking the hit on the books, in the end, it is going to impact, what investors are looking at. It is going to impact depositors' money as well. With this, you have a AU Small Finance Bank also, which is therein on the back of the Haryana government action. Any take on that front? Because they have yet not come out and said anything.
So as I said, Vaidyanathan does say that multiple parties are involved in this. We don't really understand as to how AU Small Finance Bank is also involved. If AU is also involved and AU also suffers some kind of a loss, mind you, AU trades at a very obnoxious type of valuation, and if AU is also involved, this could be a bigger negative for AU Small Finance Bank, given the type of valuation that that bank really trades at. So from my perspective, both IDFC and AU negative for them. They will see a government as well as a PSB as well as some bit of private deposit outflow as well in the shorter term, and this could lead to some bit of growth slowdown for both of these banks, and the stock prices will adjust to this new reality during this week.